You're listening to Nuestra Gente with Linda Parra.
Hey, good morning. My name is Brandon Sowhorse. I'm Commissioner of Economic Development for the City of Toledo. We're here today to launch our Vibrancy Initiative. This initiative brings about two programs, one of which is called the Facade Improvement Grant, and the second which is called the White Box Grant Program. And these programs are aimed at bringing vibrancy back to our neighborhood business districts by providing grant resources to property owners and businesses looking to revitalize the buildings, like the one right behind me. Often, the cost of redeveloping these buildings far exceeds the value of post-completion. And so we're really excited to partner with our neighborhood business districts to help bring vibrancy back into the neighborhoods.
Broadway corridor in the historic South End is the first neighborhood that will benefit from what we're calling the Vibrancy Initiative. It's a pilot project that only applies to the folks and the business owners who live along Broadway. So yes, this is not only are we starting here, this is the only neighborhood right now that qualifies for this under our pilot program. We hope and expect that with the success of what we're going to do here, additional neighborhoods throughout the city will be able to benefit. In fact, in our American Rescue Plan, which we announced last week, the Toledo Recovery Plan, which we presented to City Council, there's $500,000 that could be used anywhere in Toledo to embrace the concepts that you see here with our Vibrancy Initiative. Whether it is white boxing a property, that means getting it ready to develop, making sure it's up to code and has all the wiring and the plumbing and coat of paint and everything it needs, or whether it's the facade grant aspect of what we're trying to do. The $500,000 in the Toledo Recovery Plan could go to corridors, not just like Broadway, but also, you could imagine the neighborhood along LaGrange Street, or there's parts of the Library Village along Sylvania Avenue and Point Place, Summit Street. There's a lot of these neighborhoods throughout the city that could benefit from the larger dollar amount. But what we're doing here today is announcing that the pilot project begins here. This Broadway is the first neighborhood we're doing. This pilot project applies to the old historic South End, and we're excited to get moving here and see what it can do to pump some life and economic vitality into this historic neighborhood.
Throughout the city, we have neighborhood commercial corridors that have properties that have been vacant, sometimes for decades. And often the cost of renovation, the cost of bringing those buildings up to new construction codes, building code, fire safety code, Americans with Disabilities Act code, are prohibitive. Sometimes they exceed the value of the building in its current state. But those buildings are so important to the neighborhoods that they're in. They're such a part of the history in the sense of community and place. So our goal is to bring those buildings back into functionality. So we're combining several programs to create the Vibrancy Initiative. So currently the program begins as a pilot on Broadway, where there are over 20 vacant first floor commercial spaces. But we hope to expand it to neighborhoods throughout Toledo using ARPA dollars. So the plan combines a facade grant of up to $40,000 in matching funds, matching up to 50% of the building owner's investment. And then that is for exterior improvements, which can really bring vibrancy back to a neighborhood area. And the White Box program will address the interior needs, bringing that building up to code so that a business can occupy it. If you look on the City of Toledo website and just go to the search bar, put in Vibrancy, and it'll take you to the Vibrancy Initiative page where you'll see the programs outlined.
And are they open? It's going to be open the whole year, or there are some deadlines?
So this is going to be an open program. We will accept applications throughout the year. It will be dependent on funding. And so as we're able to help more businesses, we will be able to address their applications.
And how much is the maximum that businesses can apply for?
So for the facade grant, it's a maximum of $40,000. That's a 50% match of the building owner's investment. For the white box grant, currently it's a maximum of $50,000, matching the property owner's 30% match investment. Hopefully we'll be able to raise that up to $75,000 using the ARPA funding that we're hoping for.
Are they able to apply for multiple grants at the same time?
Yes, the idea is to use all three portions of the Vibrancy Initiative on your building. You can use the facade grant to improve the exterior, the white box program to get that interior space up to code and ready for a business to move in, and then they can finish out with the decor that they want. The white box piece of it. And then the final piece is the community reinvestment area, which Broadway is, which allows a tax abatement of up to 12 years on a portion of those improvements that have been made to the property. Those three programs together that create the Vibrancy Initiative will be able to bring vitality back to commercial areas and neighborhoods.
Again, it's our hope that going forward with City Council's blessing, our American Rescue Plan can be approved, and that would contain the resources to do this citywide. But what would it look like, and what will it look like here in this neighborhood? We're calling this a community reinvestment area, and there are two parts of it that we want to focus on: the facade improvement grant and the white box grant. We're talking about corridors like this, corridors along important streets in our community that form the basis of neighborhood economic activity, or at least they had in the past. So yes, the historic South End Broadway corridor here is one great example, defined not exclusively but often by commercial buildings like this that are 75 to 100 years old, that were built close to the road in the style of how neighborhoods were built. And they provided jobs and opportunity for people in those neighborhoods. They provided opportunities for folks to be able to walk, to get their daily needs met, whether it was a beauty salon or a place to buy hardware, or whatever it was. Toledo has pockets of corridors like this that form the basis of a vibrant neighborhood-based economic development structure.
The property behind us is owned by Maria and Dwayne. Winter. Over the last 25 years, Maria and Dwayne have invested. They've purchased and renovated commercial properties on Broadway. Maria and Dwayne couldn't be with us today, but in conversation with Maria, she said, "We purchased 1217 Broadway with the idea of putting in a business such as a Latino restaurant. The result should be a business that creates a healthy and safe environment for employees and customers, while benefiting the neighborhood and the entire Toledo community."